Yo. What's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Well, man, it's been a trying time, man. I think all y'all, some of y'all gonna be noticing. Y'all like this. The ghost has come back, feeling better and doing things, a lot more. So I appreciate y'all. Some of y'all gonna get messages probably at 3 or 4 in the morning. But that's just the time I'm up, and I decided to start messaging people late. So even if they see it through the middle of the night, they can get with me in the morning, man. But check it out. Individual, and I forget your name, so I apologize. But message me and ask me about the Dax epidemic. And basically saying when you have Dax blood, and I went over this before, but what better time than to go over it again? When you have Dax or any dog that you consider to be undesirable in your pedigrees, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you have to get rid of that dog right now. It doesn't mean that, it's over with. It's very, very simple. That's why this video will not be super, super long. When you have a dog that has bad genetic traits that may not work out for what you're trying to do, of course, our initial process is to say get rid of those genes. But I've often used a rule of thumb of, say, for instance, if I was going to use a dog that had Dax in it, the very, very closest that I would want that particular dog to be in the pedigree is a great-grandparent. Now, you ask why great-grandparent, it goes down to percentages. A grandparent is 25%, a great-grandparent is 12.5%. Once you get down to, that's roughly, if we're rounding down or up, it would be 10%. 10% of the blood actually gives you, a very, very, very limited chance of these genes becoming a big problem in what you're doing. Now, as you go there, you would think the next point that you would be at is a 6.25%. That's very, very limited on your next breeding of this dog's genetics. So if you have a continued way of breeding away from the genetic traits that you don't like, it's a very, very high probability that you won't have the problems that this dog has. Where a lot of people run into problems at is whatever that dog is, and we're not going to just pick on Dax because there's a lot of dogs who have issues. But where your problem lies is when people ignore the issues that are there and they decide, you know what, no matter what, I'm still going to breed this shit. I'm still going to move forward with this shit. And I'm going to breed this shit without caution for the issues that it has. So say, for instance, if it's a hip issue, don't double up on a hip issue. You know what I mean? If that particular dog has a respiratory issue, don't double up on the respiratory issue. Be cognizant in your mind that I have to breed away from this and I have to clean genes up specifically, for this, which should be the whole way you're breeding anyway, as you try to keep on making better dogs. But you also trace back on pedigrees, which is when we talk about reading pedigrees. That's one of the main things of reading pedigrees, is studying the dogs behind there to understand their positives and their negatives. So, if you have a Dax dog in particular, and I'm just speaking on Dax because that's what the question was, no, you don't have to totally eliminate that dog, and it's not like that dog is a piece of shit. There's plenty of very, very nice dogs that have Dax in the pedigree. The breeders who have been very, very successful with the Dax blood in their pedigrees have bred away from it. They have not tried to compound and do a bunch of Dax to Dax to Dax. That's where you run into problems at. But if he happens to pop up on your pedigree here or there, it's not going to end your program. Back in the day, we had several dogs. Like I told you, Remy's dad, Blue Ruckus, had horrible, horrible hips, and he was used. And Remy line didn't suffer from it. You had dogs like Thing, and Thing had a couple little issues here and there that you probably wouldn't want, which was the short tail and the rounded eyes. Denzel's dad, Gargoyle, had a short tail, and underbite. Bistro underbite, easty, westy. These were all issues, not severe as those that came along with Dax, but at the same time, these were dogs that were used and you knew what you had to do to breed away from those issues to make the more complete dog that would be a show dog and a great representative. So it's all about selectively breeding and understanding which way you're going. I will tell you, certain issues are bigger red flags. Anything with breathing, anything with hips, anything with structural damage, you have to take that a lot more serious, you know what I mean? I often look at tails and bad bites as just like minor things. But when you go into structural issues, hips, elbows, backs, feet, those type of things, those are long-term issues that could cause a whole lot of damage. So, you know, just keep that in mind, man. And I thank y'all for your time. God bless. Peace.